Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. Here we are on car number 2 of the Nissan DLC. We are going to be working on the GT-R, basically the R35, and oh, pardon me, still burping up supper. Um, we're going to be restoring this to 100% condition, just like all the other cars we've done in the series. Which, by the way, the Nismo, which was the one that got uploaded the other day, that was episode number 50 in the series. Well, thank you guys for watching all that stuff. We're up to like 4,800 views like that now for the channel. And most of that's coming straight from this, and that's all you guys. All I did was make the videos. Anyway, so let's have a look here. So she's missing a few parts on the back end. We're going to fix that because we want to be able to get this thing rolling on its own. Are you using all the same tire? Of course not. We're missing both back tires, so we'll probably have like two of the 285s. Yeah. Do that. Let's see what's missing. Oh, quite a bit actually. Quite a bit. Alright. So let's take care of that real quick since we've already got this in mind. Let's see, you're gonna need rubber bushing, rear suspension. Can't get that from the side. Small rubber bushing, shock absorber, brake caliper, which means we'll need a piston as well. Like we're missing a bushing. And a bearing. Probably need a cap too. Alright, so anything else? Okay, so it's got the rear end link. Let's go here. Looks like we're missing a lot of the same stuff. So, bushing, rubber bushing, another rubber bushing, another rubber bushing, another upper suspension arm, rubber bushing, small rubber bushing. Did we get the rear spring? Did not. And of course, brake caliper. Let's see, our rear drive axle. Probably want to mark 2 of those since I forgot this was a this had rear wheel drive. Let's see. That's gonna get us most of the way there. So let's go get some parts. Okay, so we get 7 rubber bushings. And it doesn't hurt to buy this stuff now. I just want to get the car rolling on its own. And then we can get going. 2 upper suspension arms. 2 small rubber bushings. Rear shock absorber, got you. 2 brake calipers. I want to get those too because those always come as a pair, or they should come as a pair. Sub bearing, rear spring, 2 rear drive axles. We're gonna need one more thing. Rear shock absorber cap. There we go. Let's see how far we can get with this. We don't want to get a tire on there yet. We really don't have a tire for it, but we will eventually. But let's focus on getting the suspension parts complete, at least. Oh, we forgot one. There we go. Now it all looks good. I mean, if we miss stuff, we miss stuff, but I want to try to get the suspension as complete as possible so that way when we go back through this, when we take this all apart, we don't have to buy this stuff again. So, the drive shaft I'm not concerned with. We can go ahead and get it. In fact, I'd put it on the list. We'll buy that after we get done this nonsense. It's got to come out anyway, so it's no sense putting it in. Gotta get you from underneath, don't we? Yes, we do. Gotta get that last piece under the car. Oh, we got another Mr. Rubber Bushing. We really? Oh, we didn't even get the thing for this. All rubber bushing. Oh, I didn't want. Drive axle. Alright. Go shopping. Two small rubber bushings. Regular rubber bushing. Suspension arm B. And a brand spanking new drive shaft. Alright, we gotta get that from underneath. Oh, I think we ordered one too many small rubber bushings, but figure it out. Or not. I think, yeah, second thought, I think we're okay. I just need to get out. I just need to get underneath there so we can get that last suspension part. There. In there. Okay. Just kind of doing a quick check, make sure we're not missing anything else. Looks like all the parts are accounted for now. Alright, so those should be good and to go. I might as well just go ahead and take care of the tires since we're already fussing with the trying to get the suspension. We could do the body next. We don't have to do this stuff in a specific order. Like once we get the tires done, we can go do the frame, then we could do the body, and the interior. You know, we could basically vary the process. We don't have to. There's no hard set rule to this kind of stuff. You gotta do it all anyway. So grab whatever comes to mind. Sounded wrong, but you get the idea. Alright. Let's get those tires separated. We'll get a couple new rims, 2 new sets of tires. Double check the car while this is going. They're both 20s. Okay, good. I am actually going to write this stuff down. I know what the front ones are, and I'm going to be able to mark those in our to-do list, but the back ones are a different story. So the fronts are 255/40, and the rear are 285/35. Okay. I used to have a good pen and a sticky note nearby at all times. Right. So, same type of tire, so let's go ahead and mark things. Actually, we need to fix the rims first, then we can go mark things. Right. So, need 2 of those. We're going to need 2 of those. We're going to keep 1 of them for comparison purposes. And the other one, we're just going to buy them like normal. Sort of. Okay. So, here. Rim shop. GT-R 2. And they're 20-inch. That. Back clean out. There we go. Go to tire shop. We're gonna get these first. And these are, I need 2 of those. They're 20-inch. It's 255/40. 55/40 R20. Okay, good. Buy that. Do it again. 2 20-inch. These are 285/35s. So 535 R20. Okay. Buy part. That off there. Pretty much already did the verification. So 255/40 R20, 255/40 R20. Yeah. We're good. Okay, so let's get these put back together and balanced. We'll put the 285s in the back, the 255s in the front, and then we can focus on getting the body taken care of. Just want to make sure that was all of them. Okay, there's number 2. Should be number 3. Should be it. Okay. Alrighty, let's get them on there. We want, yeah, 285s. We want those back here. Okay. The other one here, 285. Good. Okay. Get her on the ground, make sure she sits proper. I don't see why it wouldn't, but it's always good to test it out. And good. It's not sitting on blocks or anything, so we did it right. Alright. Now Now I get to do things more like what we'd done in the previous video, at least in terms of the order, the overall order. Okay. Okay, frames now 100%. Let's start pulling everything off body. Yeah, that's a neat looking intake on that. Look at that. No body window. I was looking to take that off there and it's already gone. Okay. Should be at 1%. Nope, it's 6%. What did I forget? Oh, the body window. Well, 3%, so there's still something. Give it a quick check over. There's probably something we missed. Oh. Just batting 1,000 today, aren't I? There we go. Now it's 1%. All right, wrong table. I always want to default to going there instead of the proper table for this. See where that left us. Get rid of the license plates. Alright. Sort by condition. Okay, so we need all of this. Sell. We'll go ahead and put the stuff on that we've got, and then actually let's go ahead and buy, since we're here, R35. Let's buy what we have a list for right now, and then we'll get the rest in another round of part buying. Do this basically just step by step here. Okay. Windshield. Okay. Clear that off. Alright, let's go put on what we've got. Okay, we're missing that naturally. And got you. Trunk. We got like the right door window and the left tail light. Not much more left to go, so that's good. We'll get the license plates after we get the rest of the body taken care of. Okay, front left door. I need front left mirror as well. Okay. Alright. Body window. Right tail light. Front left door. The side mirror. Front left window. Let's go with that and then see how far we can get. %. Okay, we're looking good. DLC inventory. Okay, so let's get. Oh, nope. Let's go get the custom plates. There we go. When I'm not doing a theme build, I just get the same plate every time. You on there. See where we're at. 100%. Sweet. Alright, let's get the interior figured out. And once we get the interior taken care of, then we'll take it over to paint. I'm probably going to do some variation on blue, because I'm kind of digging the color. I think we want to try to see if we what they have in terms of like liveries and stuff like that. So, yep. Let's move on. This looks like that's a bench seat. I'm President of the United States. Saying. Right. Sure. Okay. Let's go with that. Alright. So back here, for the interior shop, has one goofy looking bench seat. Just saying. Guess they have a different definition of bench than I do, which, hey, I'm not the one that built the car or designed it, so guess I can't complain too much. Still look a nice looking car though. Not gonna you know, kid myself about that. Apparently this is a very sought after car, from what I understand. I could see why. Well, kind of. Back seats don't look comfortable, but just me. Okay, we'll get rid of the old one, the old stuff. And we'll check that. And we're body, frame, and interior are now 100%, so progress. And the parts condition's already pretty good, 68%. We didn't do much to it. We just added a few parts that were missing on the rear suspension, but the rest of the car should be relatively intact. But get this little guy over to paint. Alright. So, in terms of the color, we're going to go with factory color, although I think the metallic looks good on this. I'm going to go with the metallic, give it a little bit of a different, you know, look to the car. I still think it keeps it close to the original, you know, close enough. No liveries? Really? Oh shit, I back to clean out. No. Factory color. Metallic. No liveries? Jeez, okay. Alright, be that way. Fine. Alright. Put you back in the lift. Okie dokie. So she's all spiffied up on the outside. Got fresh, shoes on. Body's intact. The interior's done and clean. Now we can move on to getting this rather neat looking engine out of here. First things first, though. Oh, nope, nope, nope. We want to drain it, not fill it. Over there. Sorry if I keep pulling up my shirt there. I'm wearing a shirt that still wearing the same shirt that I wore when I had my hair cut, so a little itchy. Alright, let's get you up in the air because we need to get your oil out and get the gearbox off. We already got the drive shaft. We bought the new one earlier, so don't have to worry about that. It's used, but at least it still has all of its oil, looks like. At least it's been somewhat taken care of. You are hidden very well, Mr. Starter. Probably want to grab that. Right, it didn't register with me till just now. Gearbox is all the way back here. We're missing the drive shaft, which is what I had, hang on. Which connects to that guy. So this vehicle's all-wheel drive. That much I get. Look at this shit. This off there. That's an odd combo. Because I've seen on most, not all, but most manufacturers when they do all-wheel drive, you have it the transfer case do the work of splitting it between the front and back. This basically goes to the back where the gearbox is, does its thing there, and then has the transfer case connect to the gearbox that switches in the back of the car. Okay. Different configuration than what I'm used to. Trying to make sense of what I'm seeing. Or to get that out, we're going to need to take that suspension apart. We might as well just treat it as part of the suspension. And just work on it there, because that's what I'm going to do with the front. We'll just take everything out. When we go to disassemble the rear suspension, then we'll grab that. Now, let's do that. Everything's out of the engine in terms of fluids, so we should be good to go in terms of pulling it. When we do the front suspension, we'll pull that transfer case. When we do the rear suspension, we'll pull the gearbox out and do that then. If it's not needed to take the engine out, then we're fine. We'll just leave it there for now. Fix it later. Learn new stuff every day, man. Tell you what. I like playing these DLCs. You get to see new stuff that you may not already be familiar with. We need to get 2 new exhaust pipes. We're going to head and order those, so that way we'll have it ready for when we put the engine back in. Go. Done and done. Alright, so that's the stuff that's going to be staying in our inventory, but we're also going to be pulling the engine. So let's get that in. Let's get the car back down to earth here. Okay. There and boom. Hopefully we got everything out of the way. There's no flippy thing for like the frame stiffener or anything like it was on the other vehicle. They called it an engine cover, but it's not what that was. I mean, it did cover part of the engine, but now we're just dealing with semantics. Anyway, so let's see if we can pull the engine out. Alright. That was easy. Get this on the stand. A nice little look at it. Yeah, just kind of a variation on... maybe a slight variation on the thing, or the engine we were looking at on the previous episode. In fact, a lot of it's rather similar. Anyway, so for those who haven't watched this before, I am sleepy, both literally and figuratively. We're going to be taking this engine apart and only saving the engine block and usually the crankshaft if we can. This one, since it's in reasonable shape, we should be able to save both. We get them fixed up to 100%, put them back on the stand, and then we buy all new parts to build it back up, and we get as many performance parts stuffed in there as we can. So we got ourselves new, well, not new, slightly different engine from last time, although I think most of the parts are pretty close to what we looked at before if you watched the first the Nissan cars we worked on. We're just gonna take whatever we can off of here. Kind of work our way down. Alright. Wheel rails out. Oh, don't forget these. And get the spark plugs too while we're at it. That out. Intake manifold. Got a few rusty bolts, but thankfully not that many so far. I say that and there's two on this one. Anyway. Alright. Go ahead and get these off. We're in the neighborhood. Get the clutch parts off. Go. Okay, that one's blocked by belt, which is blocked by the tensioner. Easy to get to. There we go. Got a bunch of rollers and pulleys to take off. Let's look at the oil filter since we're staring right at it. Okay. Good. Oh yeah, we need to get the oil pan off. Before we get down there, these camshaft caps off. We need to get some more stuff off before we get that. So we'll leave that alone. Okay, that one out. I have to get the oil pan off next, I think. All that's depending upon getting this stuff off, I think. Yeah. Right. Actually, we don't even need to tilt this just yet. Because we still have stuff to take off the top. I'm going to do the oil pan removal like this. We'll get rid of all of that nonsense. Then we can get this front timing cover off. That's a lot of bolts. Okay, yeah, like I said, this is very similar to the V6 that we did on the previous video. And it's not, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's not a knock against anything Nissan. Just consistency is good. We don't have too many surprises when taking the engine apart when we were doing the Nismo restoration. Went rather well, actually. Alright, now we can finally attack this. Okay, now we can get the camshaft and the rocker arm out. Now we can get this engine head off. Do the same for the other side now. Okay, got a couple more rusty bolts here. If only they came out this easy in real life. Especially the rusted ones. Alrighty, let's... Not quite ready to take the crankshaft out yet. Still got these little guys to take care of. We'll just work our way up the middle. Go. Alright. Should be able to just pop these little guys right out. Right. Crankshaft and finally the engine block. Easy peasy. So, like I said, I'm gonna go all the way down here. I'm gonna fix up engine block and the crankshaft. Rest of it, we're selling. Is this the most efficient way to do this stuff? No. But it is my way of doing it. It's a little bit longer way, but it works for me. And when you play this game, you may have your own style. Don't let anybody try to dissuade you from it. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't take inspiration from them, but, you know, if you got a good system that works for you, man, frickin' run with it. Alright, so before we get too far down the pike here, let's get rid of the stuff we don't want to keep. Just to say all the stuff that's not 100%. Alright. Let's work our way around the engine. Fuel filter, flywheel, our steering pump. Pistons with conrod. Like just 2 crankshaft bearing caps. We're going to need rod caps and piston rings, just to kind of save ourselves a couple of steps here. Alright, we're already in the performance shop, so that's good. Get the fuel filter, flywheel, our steering pump, and got your 6 aftermarket pistons with connecting rods, and something that's in the other shop. Crankshaft bearing caps. Alright, so got like, nope, I didn't want to back clean out just yet. Here, search. And we're gonna go with just the bog standard rod caps. And okay. Piston rings. So if I remember from the previous engine we worked on, it just uses the standard piston rings, doesn't use the fancy ones. Well, fancy as in different. It uses the generic ones in the game. You guys thrown in there. And we'll work our way down the middle again. This time we're going to be putting stuff back together. So okay, last one. Okay. We got a few more things to put in before we put the oil pan back on. One thing I learned from that previous build, because the way the oil pan has the dipstick and other stuff that kind of wraps around a little bit, it doesn't show up like it would on a generic V6 engine in this game. Get our 2 engine heads. Excuse me. Engine head A and B. So I might as well go ahead and write the engine while we're at it. Oh, we forgot the clutch plate. I was forgetting something. Okie dokie. So that should be everything from that round. Let's take a looky, see what we got this time around. Got our dual turbos. Got camshaft A, rocker arm B, 6 spark plugs, intake manifold, rocker arm B, camshaft B, and a clutch pressure plate. Okay. Our turbos. Done. Camshaft A. Oh. Oh, the rocker arms, right. The rocker arms aren't a performance part. Camshaft B. Get our 6 spark plugs. Let's see. brand new intake manifold, and a clutch pressure plate. So now, go to the standard shop and we go get 2 rocker arms. Bam. Looking good so far. And get the clutch pressure plate on there. Cool. Right, spark plugs. Okay, that's it on that round. Get the release bearing while we're over there. And we need like 2 fuel rails. Camshaft cap B. And camshaft cap A. Let's see if we got anything else, or is that it? I think that might be it. At least for this round. Okay, there we go. That's a standard part. That is most definitely not. Get that. Camshaft caps, I think are, yeah, they're standard parts. And got your clutch release bearing. One camshaft cap, and we got the other. Okay, good to go. Nice. Yeah, we didn't get you yet, so we'll need to get those. And mark the timing cover. Or need that rocker arm as well. Alright. Let's go shopping. We have anything that could... Yeah, we got an intake manifold. That come on. There we go. Helps if I click the right thing. We got a big fancy intake manifold. These guys, so 2 rocker arms. These are... Yeah, they're not. Timing cover I know isn't a performance part. When in doubt, go to the performance parts store. And if it's not there, then you know it's here. It's usually just one of 2 places, so you can't go too far wrong. Unless there's a bug in the game, which we really haven't run into that, where we legit could not find a part in the in you know, if it that wasn't in either, you know, place. You know, other than the stuff that's different from that, like the electricals, but you get the idea. You can usually find it somewhere, is basically what I'm getting at. Alright, so we have rocker arms that we could put in. Do those. Yeah, that's everything on that round. So we're going to need sides, so we need 8 of those. We need 2 throttles, an engine cover, all of this nonsense. Alternator, 2 cam gears, and 2 of the other type of cam gear, and a water pump. And I'm doing a quick check, make sure we got anything else that might be needed. We're good. Right, I know some of this stuff is performance, so we're going to go back over here. Camshaft caps should be Standard part. I just wanted to double check for some reason. Get our throttle. Actually, both throttles. Alternator. Got you. And I really think all this rest of this is standard parts. We're gonna need 8 of those. One fancy engine cover. 2 cam gear Bs. 2 cam gear type As. And a brand new water pump. Interesting how the front of this engine's layered. Like, they really put some time into that, you can tell. I'm not being sarcastic either. Snazzy engine cover on. Okay, get the last of these camshaft caps on here. Okay. Yep, that's everything from that round, so engine head cover A, cover B, and then we got, looks like maybe a couple of timing chains. Yeah, I just want to make sure they're both the same. They are. I'll make sure we didn't have anything else. That's it. Yeah, this should all be standard parts. Be surprised if they weren't. We'll need 6 of those coils, but we'll get those here in the next round. Alright. Like we're ready for the big timing chain. The ignition coils are a performance part. Hold off on getting it here and go back over to the tune-up shop. Get these. And mark those. Okay, there's one timing shoe. And there's the other. Okay, now we can finally get the the oil pan. Anything else back here or up here? Doesn't look like it. I think we got everything in the back. Nice. Okay. So, shopping list is empty. Alright, this all looks like standard parts, so let's just go there and get everything we need. Oh, we don't need to buy two. Okay, crankshaft pulley, 3 idle roller A's. Boom. Timing cover B. Timing cover C. And idle roller B. Looks like last of the rollers on this layer. Okay, get this last timing cover put on. Get ourselves a serpentine belt. Got you. Tensioner. And for some reason, the oil filter. Alright, I think that's everything. Not seeing any grayed out parts. There you go. One freshly rebuilt engine. Get her off the stand and back in the car. Yep, yep, and boom. Hit the escape key with my drink. Okay. Like I said, we still have the gearbox and the transfer case, but we're going to do those when we do the suspension, given their relative locations. Can do, though, is put the flywheel cover on in the starter and the first little bits of the new exhaust. Okay. Starter put on. That out of the inventory. We're not going to worry about the drive shafts until we get the suspension restored or, you know, fixed up, whatever. Okay, 81% parts condition, not bad. Bad. Check our inventory, so we got just the drive shafts. Now we get to pretty much rip everything else out of the engine compartment. Come on. Oh, you got... Okay. Pop these apart. Of course, it's got an intercooler, so we're going to have to probably get this thing back up in the air here in a minute. We need to get that, because that can only be, you know, removed from underneath the car. You... Figured as much. That. I'm gonna get this box cover off. I'm gonna mark all of these. Hang on. Because we know we're gonna have to replace them. That's everything. Looks like it is. Okay. Let's go get the intercooler out. Something I want to check real quick before we get too far down the line. I want to mark that, and I want to mark that. I want to check something here. We'll check it together here. I don't think there's aftermarket parts for either one of these, but we'll check. Nope. Oh, the intercooler does have... We probably missed that. We could have probably fixed that up. Not fixed it up, but... we could have bought the aftermarket part for the other one, and we missed that. I keep forgetting that on these cars that have the intercoolers. Anyway. Just like I said, that was a bit of an experiment there. I was like, one of these, I think, said a performance part, and I keep passing it over, I think. And that was it. It wasn't the radiator, it was the intercooler. So for this, we're going to see what we can fix out of the list. I mean, I'm how many videos in? I just now decided to look at the intercoolers and see if they have a, you know, performance equivalent. I mean, it's a 3% increase on this car. 3.5, something like that. Just not bad. Okay. So we're in decent shape there, so we need to mark the ECU. Oh, we couldn't fix the air filter covers? Really? Okay. Mark that. That one too. The reservoirs, I'm not surprised, because those are never fixable. Well, the filter bases weren't fixable either. Okay. We're going to need 2 new filters, which those are going to be performance parts as well. The battery, we should be able to save that. Done. Alright. Let's nuke the rest. Bam. That was messy, but we got the job done. Now we just need to order parts. First things first, we're going to go to electronics. Yeah, actually, hang on. Actually, no, we could probably go ahead and do this. We normally do the rest of the stuff and then do the relays and fuses, but hey, it doesn't really matter which order we do it in. As long as we buy the stuff that we need, that's what matters. So 2 relay type A's. 3 relay type B's. Done. 3 relay type C's. Got you. 3 fuse type A's. Bam. 3 fuse type B's. Fuse type C. ECU type A. Okay, so looks like the rest of this is going to be either in the performance bin or performance store or in the regular tools or regular parts section. All right, so air filter type A, we need 2 of those. The base and the covers are going to be in standard parts bin or bin store. You know I'm referring to the same thing. Might not be the correct term, but hey, it works for me. Right on. All right. Oh wait, hang on. I hacked up. I gotta get that new brand spanking new intercooler in there. And why did it zoom me out the freaking Narnia? Anyway. Been good so far. These little clips, man, they're just so tedious. But, you know, every car's got some variation of this, or... I've seen a few, both in the game and in real life, that have the, like, little screws that hold the air covers, or the air filter covers on. Like, my truck has that. It doesn't have the little clippy things. But I've had cars in... my own cars, and... realized we're missing the rubber bushing there. A couple. Right. I'll have to mark that and put them in just before we take all that stuff apart. Anyway, let's finish up here. So, get all this put in. Wow, we leveled up. Nice. Getting closer to level 50. I don't know if we'll hit that by the end of the series, but if we don't, it's not the end of the world. Have anything else we need to put in? Negative. Missing any others? I could see the back of the damn... Yeah, we're missing like 3 out of the 4 bushings on that. We need to get to this from the underside here. We'll take care of this real quick, and then we'll go back and do a quick check of the engine compartment, make sure we got all the remaining components, or see if there's any remaining components, I should say. Check here, see if any of the other suspension parts are missing. Doesn't look like it. That was almost a gotcha right there, wasn't it? Alright, now let's do a quick check here. We're not missing anything else. I know we're missing the drive shafts, but we'll deal with those later. Just want to make sure all the rest of the stuff for this compartment are present, and it looks like they are. Start putting fluids in. Of course, we gotta take the engine cover off to do the oil fill. Wouldn't be a rich person's car if it didn't. Kidding. Kidding. I know there's plenty of cars out there you have to do this to. It just seems weird to me. I don't own a car that has that. As far as I know, I don't own a car that has that problem. Well, it's not really even a problem, just... most vehicles I've owned in the past, you didn't have to do that. Then again, none of my cars up until a few years ago were, you know, fancy in the slightest. Alright. What we should have left here is just the power steering fluid. Let that overflow because I learned from the story missions, if you don't do this, sometimes it doesn't register the fact that the power steering reservoir is in fact full. Alright, we're in good shape here. We just got the engine compartment taken care of. Everything but the suspension, of course. So now, before we get to that part where we do the suspension front and back, we need to finish the exhaust system and the fuel system. To do that, we need to get underneath the car. So, let that get back up in the air. I'm just double checking my inventory, make sure I didn't have anything left over. Marking all the parts. That's not really a muffler, that's just a split pipe to make it look cool. Anyway. Okay, go ahead and mark the fuel tank. The fuel pump. We'll pull both of those out. That is a funky looking cross member. So we've got everything here on the to-do list already. So let's go ahead and sell this stuff because we don't want to hold on to it. None of it's going to get fixed up and reused. It's all going to get bought brand new. Let's do that. A good chunk of this is going to be in the aftermarket spot, so we'll just move over here. So we get 2 brand new cats. Couple of mufflers. AK resonators. 2 exhaust pipes. 2 rear mufflers, aka exhaust tips. And a fuel pump. Tank itself is a standard part, like always. Alright, that takes care of exhaust and fuel system. Click on park quality, we're up to 89%. So, right now, at this point, all we should have left is just the front and rear suspension to do. To do that, since this is all-wheel drive, we need to yank the tires off, naturally. Well, we have to do that anyway, but... yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because we've got a rather unique powertrain setup on this thing. Alright, since we're up here, we might as well go ahead and take this apart first. Okay, I know we just put some of these in, but we're going to take them back out. The ones we bought and put in are basically just means that many parts that we don't have to buy. It didn't save us a huge amount of time, but still. This rest of the way taken apart, and then we'll move over. Are you being held on? Oh, right, the other drive shaft, the drive axle. Get the rest of these bushings. Nope, oh, bushing. There you go. Come on. Getting there. I think that's everything from the front. Yep, just want to make sure we got everything. Looks like we did. Thankfully, not too many rusty bolts. A few here and there, just enough to slow you down just a little bit. Back there. Come on. There you go. Like I said, this is a really weird looking cross member here. Come on, give me the bushing. There you go. That's... We gotta get the cross member out of the way before we get that. Okay, that's interesting. No. Almost there. Come on. Back clean out just to get to that darn thing. Because the camera won't cooperate. Okay, so we get the cross member out of the way, then we can finally get the gearbox. Now we're hopefully done tearing it apart. Alright, let's take care of the brake rotors. Okay. Couple more to go. Yeah. Got all those. Kind of work our way through these. Almost done. Alright. So that should have gotten us most of the way there. Let's take a look. Man. We may not have that much to buy. We went through like almost halfway through page 4 before we even saw something that was below 100%. That's pretty good. Of course, we did buy a bunch of parts at the beginning when we were fussing with the suspension to try to get the car to roll on its own, so wouldn't be that surprising, I guess. Cool. Alright, let's get going. Brake pads. 3 new bearings, because I think we replaced one of them earlier. Okay, got your inner tie rods. 11 rubber bushings. We got our tie rods. 2 sway bar rear end links. 4 small rubber bushings. 2 double wishbone shock absorbers. 2 front shock caps. A couple of front springs to go along with it. And got ourselves a front sway bar. 2 front end links for the sway bar. Shock absorber A. Rear spring. And a sway bar B. Rear shock cap. Okay, before we do anything else, let's actually get the assemblies put together so I don't end up finding out partway through the restoration that I forgot to do them and have to stop and take care of it. There we go. Do the rear end first. We get that one drive shaft on, but we're not going to be able to put the other one on until we get the transfer case reinstalled. Back up, please. Thank you. Put together bit by bit here. that back on. Get the drive shaft or drive axle put in. How about the tire back on just yet? Not forgetting anything else. Oh, we are. There's one bushing way the hell out there. I was like, I remember there being like 3 bushings per side for the cross member, and I was trying to figure out where the third one was, and it was right behind the camera. Speaking of camera, can you move, please? Thank you. Looking sharp already. A little further to go, and then we'll be done with this half of the car. Right. Yeah, but the kind of improvements we put on this car, this thing's gonna freaking fly. It's gonna be nice. Bearing put in, and we'll get the rest of this put together. Go. Add caliper and piston. Quick once over here, make sure everything looks right. Looks like everything's in place. Everything's where it should be, with the exception of the other drive shaft, which we'll take care of here in a minute. Cool. Back up here. We're dropping parts in. Transfer case, and we can get that other drive shaft put back in. That zoomed me far enough out to where it wouldn't let me do the other bolts. That's nice. Okay, back over here so we can back where we want to be. Forget, let's get the bushings put in. Good to go there. Okay. Object lesson here. Don't get in a hurry. I fucked up anyway. Didn't catch what size tires I put on. I was in a hurry to get this suspension taken care of, and I accidentally defaulted to the wrong size tire, which easy fix. We need 285. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Here's the other 285. why it doesn't pay to get in too big a hurry, especially when you're tired. Okay. Back to here. There we go. I mean, we'd have found the fuck up anyway as soon as we put this thing on the ground. It wouldn't have sat right. But still. This other side put on. Please. Thank you. Okay. Like in a lot of games, the camera is sometimes the ultimate boss of the game. Not any of the creatures or the puzzles, or in this case the cars, but the camera itself. Anybody who's played like some of the, especially some of the early Resident Evil games, knows exactly what I'm talking about. You were fighting the camera about as much as you were fighting the actual monsters. The later games were more, you know, manageable in terms of the controls, but not them early games, man. Not the early games. Alright. Quality Nissan engineering. Okie dokie. Check our inventory. Inventory is in fact empty. Check the car. We're 100% on everything. Good job, everybody. And we have the tires on the right way, which we found out before we put it on the ground. Thank goodness. So, let's get you over to the alignment rack and we'll get your headlights and your wheels taken care of, and then we'll go to the dyno room. And this thing was fucking off in a corner. Look at that. That reminds me for some reason. Not the fucking off part, but the, you know, YouTube content stuff for some reason. I was going to ask you guys this at the beginning of the video, and I was, let's just say, suitably distracted. But I want, or rather I would like, some feedback from you guys. Would you be interested in seeing the, you know, some of this stuff as live streams instead of pre-recorded canned videos like this? If you have any sort of opinion on it, I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments section, and I'll give it some thought, because I honestly did think about doing that as my way of recording the stuff instead of just doing a pre-recorded video and doing some light editing. It could just be, because you can, when you do streams on YouTube, you could tell it to set the VOD to go to a certain playlist that you already have or that you want to create if you don't have one. And it wouldn't take much for me to just say, hey, I'll do a stream. It'll be one of these cars. We'll do it like an hour and a half stream or something. And then we could just have the VODs be the actual video. I mean, it's not really much different than what I'm doing now. That maybe have the slight chance of, you know, real-time interaction with people, which would be nice. Anyway, don't need to get in just yet. Let's get this over to the dyno room. So, like I said, give it some thought. If you feel like, you know, strongly one way or the other, or don't care either way, let me know. Guess I want to proceed with the dyno. Ooh, 530 factory horsepower and 433 pound-feet of torque. This ought to be interesting. Go, baby, go. Damn. 938 horsepower, a gain of 409, so 78%. increase. And 753 pound-feet of torque for an increase of 321, which is an increase of 75%. Dude, with the right tuning, this thing could haul ass on a drag race. I'm not even joking. Might put some better parts in it for stopping, but at least be an interesting track car too, possibly, depending upon how it handles. Damn, look at those numbers. That's pretty. I think that's the first car we've had in a while that's even come close to 1,000 horsepower. Nice. Right, let's get you up front. We'll get some pictures. And that one's going to be the thumbnail for the video, which you'll all have already seen by the time this video is released. That one's going on Discord. Actually, they both are, but trying to be dramatic here. Alright, time to go to the speed track. And we're going to see how fast this little puppy can go. I have a feeling with this kind of horsepower we may screech the tires a little bit, so might be a bit of a rough start. Right, everybody strapped in. Man, somebody closed the vents, man. It's like 100 degrees out. Or actually, it's more like 86 here, but still. Fahrenheit, not Celsius, otherwise we'd be almost dead. But anyway, let's look. I actually had a pretty good start. I thought I was going to have a tougher time of it. Oh gosh, we're already 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Wow. 210, 220. Oh, if that hadn't stopped us there, we'd have hit 225. Dude, I love this car. Alright, let's get back to the garage. And 224 miles an hour. So, yeah, take that and change it to kilometers. That's still a ridiculously, high number. Look at this beaut. I'm impressed with this car. I might actually keep this car. I want to see how much it is first. Alright, so take a look. So we bought it for $89,621. Yeah, it was an auction, so assuming it was in decent shape already. It was just missing a few parts. Got the condition bonus and the parts and body value, all that stuff. How that you can see how that factors in. So we're selling it for would be selling it for 190,126 for a profit of 100,505. Actually, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and sell it for now. I could always rebuild another one if I need to. Boom. Hey, we're up over 3 million now. Racking up some dough now that we don't have to buy any more cars. Okay, so let's do some house cleaning here. So we got our Nissan Silvia S15. That's going to be the next episode, so we need to put that in Bay 1. That's typically where I work from. And we got the Fair Lady, which is going to be the one I'm really looking forward to. And she's in rough shape. She needs some love, but we're going to give it to her in a couple of episodes. Oh, nope. I don't want to exit out just yet. And then we've got the This is basically at this point we're going to be doing a filler car, Jalopy. I don't know if they were trying to go for Calliope and just misspelled it, but who knows. Looked like one of them sporty European cars of some sort. So, yeah. Junkyard find, rough condition. We already cleaned it, I think. At least it's mostly clean. We're going to move that to position 2 because, like I said, we got the 2 remaining Nissan cars in the shop already. We got our filler episode here. And then I'm going to go to the parking. We're going to go right into first of the Mazda cars. We have the RX-3. And then we have the RX-7. Yeah, quite a difference between those two. We're going to do the RX-3 first. I don't know if we've cleaned this one. We have not. Let's take care of that. Oop. And yeah. It's got almost that puke green color. Well, we'll fix that eventually. Right, and that's going to go position 3 because that's going to be 4 episodes out. So there you go. That's the preview for the next several episodes. Got our hands full with rust buckets, but they're going to be nice by the time we get done with them. What we do on this series. So with that, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna be doing several more. We still have the Mazda, we still have the Hot Rod DLC, we still have the newly released basically the Mopar DLC that has like the Plymouth, Chrysler and Dodge cars in it. Then we have before that one, we have the electric car DLC. So we still have quite a bit of content left to go. So, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get alerts for any new videos and or streams that happen on this channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.